Hello friends, my name is Chinmay Deshpande. I am from Department of Electrical Engineering. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss about interfacing of LVDT with Atmega 328P. First, we will discuss what is LVDT. LVDT is nothing but it is linear variable differential transformer. So it is a one kind of a transformer. It is an absolute measuring device that converts whatever linear displacement into an electrical signal through the principle of mutual induction. LVDT is used to calculate displacement. The main components of the LVDT are transformer and a core. Now, the transformer consists of three windings. It has one primary winding to which AC supply is given, and it has two secondary windings, that is S1 and S2, which will be wound on a hollow form. So this is what is a figure for LVDT. Here you will observe that to the A, that is a primary winding, the supply is given, and this B side is nothing but these are two secondary windings S1 and S2. Now it has one core. That core is made up of a magnetically permeable material. Why it is made up of magnetically permeable material? This is because to pass magnetic lines of force or the flux through it, and it moves freely inside the bore of a transformer. A non-ferromagnetic shaft or a push rod is coupled to the core and it connects to the object which is being measured. Now, this is what is the actual figure that we will see. So, this is your primary winding to which input voltage is given. These are two secondary windings, and whatever rod which is present, it is made up of magnetic material. So, one primary winding P and two secondary winding S1 and S2 are mounted on the cylindrical former. So, this is a cylindrical former. Now, the two secondary windings have an equal number of turns. Let's say this is your S1 winding, this is your S2 winding. So number of turns associated with S1 winding is same as that of a number of turns associated with S2 winding. And it is placed identically on either side of a primary winding, which is shown here in the figure. Now, the primary winding is connected to the AC supply, which produces its own flux in the air gap, and voltages are induced in the secondary winding. This is what is a mutual inductance principle. Now, this is a very simplified diagram. Here, excitation means AC supply is given to a primary winding, and this is your first secondary winding, this is your second secondary winding. Now here, a movable soft iron core is placed inside the former. The assembly of a laminated core is placed in the cylindrical steel housing, and end leads are provided for electromagnetic and electrostatic shielding. The displacement to be measured here is attached to this movable soft iron. So movable soft iron core is placed in between these two. The both, that is the secondary windings, are connected in such a way that whatever resulted output is a difference of the voltages of two windings. So if you clearly observe the connection of this S1 winding and S2 winding, then you will see that the second end of a S1 winding is connected to the second end of S2, whereas this is a first end which is connected to the output, and this is a first end of a S1 which is connected to here output. Now let's discuss working principle of a LVDT. Now we know that as a primary winding of this LVDT is supplied with a AC supply, so it produces alternating magnetic flux in the core, which in turn gets linked to the secondary winding, that is S1 and S2, and it produces EMF due to a transformer action. So this is what is a figure. So here you will observe that this is a core, this is arm. Now the displacement will be either in left hand side or either in right hand side. AC supply is given to the primary winding. Here you will observe that number of turns of a secondary winding S1 and number of turns of a secondary winding S2 both are same. So now here whatever EMF which is produced in the secondary winding, let's say it is denoted by ES1, and whatever secondary EMF which is generated in the secondary winding S2, it is denoted by ES2. Now here the magnitude, that is magnitude of a ES1 and ES2, it will depend upon the magnitude of rate of change of flux, which is called as d phi by dt as per Faraday's law. Now here you will observe that the lower the value of a dt, the more will be the EMF induced, because it is relation d phi by dt. But lower the value of dt, what it indicates? It indicates that the core is moving very faster. So therefore here we can say that faster the movement of a core, the greater will be the magnitude of a EMF which is induced in both the secondary windings, either in S1 or S2. Now, here you will see that this is what is a primary winding. These are two secondary windings. So here EMF which is associated with this secondary winding S1 is ES1. EMF which is associated with this secondary winding is ES2. This is a primary winding to which supply is given. So it will create its own field which is shown by these lines. This is what is a movable core which is placed. Now, in order to get a single output voltage from the linear variable differential transformer, both the secondary windings are connected in a series but in a phase opposition. So what is the meaning of phase opposition? I already told you that here the second side is connected to the second side of S2, and this is what is the first side of a S2 winding. This is what is your first side of a S1 winding, and here we are going to measure output voltage, that is E0. Now, because of this connection, the net output voltage in terms of ES1 and ES2 is given by E0 equal to ES1 minus ES2. Now, here, since the secondary winding of a LVDT are identical, that is, it has the same number of turns, and it is placed over symmetry of a primary winding, that is on either side of a core. Therefore, under this normal position, the flux linkage of both the secondary windings, that is flux linkage associated with S1 and flux linkage associated with S2, will be same. So therefore, here we can say that whatever EMF which will be induced in the secondary winding S1 and secondary winding S2, it will be same. So here we can say that ES1 equal to ES2, and hence the net output, that is E0 of a LVDT, equal to 0, because already we discussed that E0 equal to ES1 minus ES2. So as ES1 and ES2 both are same, so net output voltage here will be 0. So the position at which we get this net output, that is E0 equal to 0, that position is called as null position. Now it is the normal position of a movable core where the net output voltage will be equal to 0. Now here you will see that this was the first case, that is net output voltage E0 of a LVDT. It is nothing but E0 equal to ES1 minus ES2. Now here you will observe that this is a null position. What is the meaning of null position? The core is placed exactly at the center. So therefore, whatever EMF associated with this side, that is S1 side, and whatever EMF associated with this, that is S2 side, it will be same. And therefore here we will write E0 equal to 0, because ES1 and ES2 both are same. Now let's discuss a first case. What happens if the core is moved towards left hand side of a null position? Now in this diagram you will observe that this 0 is nothing but a null point. And suppose this arrow indicates that the core is moved towards left hand side. Now what happens in that case? Whenever the core of a LVDT moves towards left hand side, that is towards left hand side of a null position, null point 0, then whatever flux linkage of a secondary winding S1, it will be more as that of a flux linkage of a secondary winding S2. So therefore, what you will observe in that case, this means that the EMF that is induced in the winding S1 will be more than that of a EMF which will be induced in the winding S2. So therefore here I can write ES1 is greater than ES2. So therefore, what is the net output voltage? It is E0 equal to ES1 minus ES2. Now as here ES1 is greater as compared to that of ES2, so therefore your output voltage, that is E0, will be positive. So this means that the output voltage E0 will be in phase with the primary voltage. So therefore here you will observe that this was the first case, that is E0 equal to ES1 minus ES2 whenever the core is at exactly center. Now here we have moved this core towards left hand side. So that's why here you will see that this is what is the EMF associated with first side of a secondary winding, that is S1. So ES1 is greater as compared to that of a ES2. So therefore, whatever relation that you will get is a positive, which indicates that it is in phase with a primary voltage. Now, let's discuss second important case. Now, what happens if this core is moved towards right hand side of a null position? So again, let's say suppose this is a point A. This point A indicates that this will be equal to your null point. Now, here this arrow indicates that displacement is towards right hand side. This is a core which is placed. Now, whenever this core moves in a right direction, then what happens? Whatever flux linkage with a secondary winding S2 will be more as compared to that of a flux linkage with a secondary winding S1. So therefore, here I can represent it as EMF which will be induced in the winding S1 or S2 here, it will be more as that of a S1. So therefore, ES2 is greater than ES1. Now what will be net output voltage? Here our formula is fixed, E0 equal to ES1 minus ES2. But as your value of ES2 is more, so therefore what you will observe here? You will observe that your net output voltage will be negative. What is the meaning of that? This means that the output voltage of a LVDT will be in phase opposition, that is 180 degree out of phase with a primary voltage. So therefore, this is your normal case whenever your core is exactly at a center. So you can write this equation, that is E0 equal to ES1 minus ES2. And whenever now the core is shifted towards right hand side from a null position, so therefore this is what is the EMF lines, or this is a magnetic lines which is associated with secondary side of the winding. So here we can see that ES2 is greater than ES1, and therefore the formula will be E0 is equal to negative, which indicates that your output voltage, that is E0, will be 180 degree out of phase with a primary voltage. Now, the direction of a moment of a physical quantity can be identified by the output voltage of a LVDT. So what conclusion we can draw here? Suppose output voltage E0 equal to 0, then it indicates that the position of a core is exactly at the center, that is, it is a null position. Suppose output voltage E0 which is obtained is a positive, then it indicates that the core is moved towards left hand side of a null position. And if the output voltage E0 is a negative, then core is moved towards right hand side of a null position. Now, whatever the amount or the magnitude of the displacement which is, that is proportional to the magnitude of the output voltage. So here we can say that the magnitude of the displacement is directly proportional to how much output voltage which is produced by LVDT. The more the output voltage, the more will be the displacement. But here we can't take core out of the former. So therefore, otherwise the output voltage will become 0. So it has some finite displacement. Now let's discuss advantages associated with LVDT. No physical contact between core and the coils. So in the diagram, here we observe that as there is no actual contact between the coil and the core which is placed in between, so therefore no frictional losses. Now, as no frictional losses, so therefore here we can say that long operating life. Third important advantage is it has a high range. That is, LVDT have a very high range for a measurement of a displacement. It can be used for the measurement of a displacement which will be range from 1.25 millimeter to 250 millimeter. Then whatever power which is required for the operation is low. It has a high accuracy as no losses or no frictional losses will be there. Then it has a fast response. But the very important advantage which is associated with LVDT is that using an LVDT transducer, moving core here does not make contact with other electrical component of assembly, and therefore as with this is a resistive type, as so offers high reliability and a long life. This is what is a prime advantage of a LVDT. What are the applications of a LVDT? It is used to measure a displacement which range from fraction millimeter to centimeter also. Acting as a secondary transducer, LVDT can be used as a device to measure a force, weight and a pressure. Now, let's discuss interfacing diagram of LVDT with ATmega 328P. So this is what is LVDT. The supply which is required for operation of this is 24 volt AC supply. Now, in an electronic system, LVDT is used generally with a rectifier and a signal conditioning devices. The rectified output is given to the signal conditioning circuit, and whatever output which is associated with a signal conditioning circuit, it can be applied to the analog input pin of a Arduino which has built-in ADC. So here you will observe that the whatever output of a LVDT is there, we have connected it to analog pin A0 of a Arduino, because it is a sensor. It senses your displacement, so therefore it is an analog quantity. The displacement in the core of a LVDT generates analog output voltage. Whatever analog output voltage in the LVDT, it has a range from 0 to 10 volt. Now, here we know that our Arduino operates for 0 to 5 volt. Output of a LVDT is 0 to 10 volt. So first we have to reduce that voltage. Therefore, in that case, we have to use a voltage divider circuit. What it will do? It will reduce your voltage to a required value, that is to a 5 volt. So therefore, the output voltage is then read by analog read signal, and after reading the output voltage with the help of analog read signal, here we are going to convert the analog input voltage value to an appropriate digital value by internal ADC with Atmega 328P. Now, the value which is measured here is then sent to the serial monitor window of Arduino IDE through USB cable. The FT232R is a USB to serial UART interface. Now, what is the purpose of a voltage divider arrangement? So here you will observe that this is what is your input voltage. These are Z1, Z2, or you can say it is R1, R2 also. And this is what is the output that we have taken. And another end of this is connected to a ground. So formula for V out is nothing but V in into R2 upon R1 plus R2. So therefore, we know that here V out is nothing but what? Output voltage, or it is in between 0 to 5 volt, that is required for the Arduino ADC. And V in is nothing but 0 to 10 volt, which will be received from LVDT. So therefore, if you put here values, then you will get V out equal to 1 upon 1 plus 1 into 10 equal to 5 volt. So whatever resistors that you have to use here, its value is nothing but 1 kilo ohm. Now, let's discuss what is a sketch or the program. First is nothing but void setup. We know that what is the meaning of that? It is a setup function which runs only once. First is pin mode A0, output. The meaning of that is, here we have used A0, that is analog input of Arduino, and it is configured as an output. Next is serial.begin 9600. It is used to begin serial communication with the baud rate of 9600. Then serial.println LVDT interface. Whatever sentence which is written here in a double quotes, it will be printed, that is LVDT interface, and after that cursor will go for a next line. Next is delay 1000, that is wait for a second. Next will be void loop function. Now this loop function runs over and over again, and 90% of a code is there in this particular loop function. So serial.print displacement equal to. So it will print the sentence or the word which is there in a double quote, that is displacement equal to. And after that serial.print, and here we have written analog read A0. Now what is the purpose of this analog read? It will read the analog signal which is coming from LVDT which is connected to pin number A0. So it displays the analog value which is measured at the analog pin A0. And here again delay is provided, that is for wait for a second. This is what is the sketch or the program of interfacing LVDT with Atmega 328P. Thank you.